And I just want everyone to give these speakers a hand. Like, speaking is still the number one fear in the world. And so for anyone to get up here and just be able to speak and not pass out is awesome. So you should pat yourself on the back. And then writing a book as well, writing a chapter in a book. Writing a book is still 8% of people in the world have written a book or even a chapter in a book. So that too, you should be very proud of yourself for. So the next speaker is Sandie Sado. Woo!
Thank you for reminding me why I need to be nervous right now. Lisa? Okay. Wow. Hello? I'm going to ask everybody, raise your hand if you've ever had parents who praised you. Nice. Quite a few. Now keep your hand up if you believed it. You did? Yeah. Awesome. You did. Awesome. Excellent. Me too. Praise validated my worth, and perfectionism became an identity that nearly killed me. You could say I was dying to be perfect. I grew up in a world where the gymnasium was home. Under Marta and Bella Caroli, I was chasing the Olympic goal like my life depended on it, because it did. A 9.8, failure. I needed the perfect 10. Imagine flipping several feet high into the air and snapping your femur on the landing. Yeah. Countless broken bones, trips to the emergency room, all before the age of 18. Injuries finally said, game over. Here I was, being seen on the local news and the newspapers, to becoming just an ordinary 18-year-old asking myself, who the hell am I now? My identity was ripped away like somebody deleted my operating system and I needed to find a new one. But instead, eating disorders found me, and that became my new routine. Because if I couldn't get the perfect score on the balance beam, maybe I can get it on the scale. But this was slow suicide. My body was failing. And that perfect little girl with a smile on the outside was dying on the inside. Because you see, what people didn't know is that my home was never a safe place for me. With violence, addiction, chaos, gymnastics was my escape. And then there was that horrible night where a family member crossed lines that should never be crossed. And I learned to bury my head deep in the sand and completely abandon myself to become what others wanted. I perfected the art of people-pleasing well into my adult years, striving to be the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect worker. And it wasn't until my early 40s that life handed me a wake-up call that I couldn't ignore. Cancer. Not once, twice. Me, little Miss Perfect Health, and now my body was rebelling. That doesn't happen to somebody like me. I mean, I ate keto, no carbs. Facing mortality, I was reflecting on that little gymnast, the one with the high hopes and the big dreams. She had been lost, head deep in the sand. And then one day I was watching the DreamWorks cartoon, The Croods, if anybody's seen that. And there was this powerful line where the teenager is telling the father, but I swear I heard my name. And it was Sandie. That wasn't living. That was just not dying. There's a difference. And I looked up at God and said, if you aren't taking me right now, and if I have to live one more day of life, I'm going to pull little Sandie's head out of the sand, and I'm going to let her live. Soon I discovered that the opposite of fear isn't courage. It's love. And I had to love all of me. The broken parts, the perfectly imperfect parts. And this led me to my feel, be, do transformation. Feel worthy to receive. Every morning I'd look in the mirror and I would tell Sandie 7 things that I appreciated about her, 7 things that I forgave her for, and 7 promises I would make to her. And at first, I couldn't even look at her. There was so much shame in that reflection, but eventually it was like greeting a friend. Be your future self. I'd meditate daily on my future me, the me I was intended to be. And I'd study her, how she stood, how she walked. Yeah, like that? How she felt. And then throughout the day, I would ask myself, what would that Sandie do right now? Do whatever the hell you want. Oh, I gave myself permission to live. I took up painting, got my fitness certification, started a fitness business, wrote a chapter in what is the #1 selling book. And this year, 55 years young, I entered a fitness competition. Yes, ladies, I got into a thong bikini, 5-inch heels, and I walked that stage. But not to prove to anybody but myself that not only can I transform my body, but my mind and my soul. Here's the truth. Choosing positivity and sparking joy isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. And every single day, I get to choose. You get to choose how you show up, who you want to be, how you want to feel. That's power, and we all have it. It's our birthright. So, I used to chase the perfect score from judges who only knew me by a number, but now I give myself a high five every single day. I want everybody to stand up real quickly, please. Real quickly. I want you to give yourselves a high five. All right. Thank you. Awesome.